YouTubers, this is Yuri from YNC Comics, and today's episode is gonna be in honor of Action Comic Books number 1, which came out in 1938. Did you know that Action Comics book number 1 sold in 2011? The last copy sold in 2011, or shall I say the last copy found and then sold in auction on eBay in 2011 was for $3.2 million. Can you believe that? That's how important this comic book is in the history of comic books. So today we're going to share with you a little bit about other comic books that have honored Action Comic number 1 in their cover of their comic books. And you'll see this little stack I have right here. It's a lot of different comic books that are honored Action Comic Book number 1. And I have a couple of copies here of the comic books, and we're gonna get started. Alright, so here are the comic books I have that honor Action Comic Books number 1. The first one is Ugly Doll. This is not one of my favorites. So it's gonna start from my least favorite to the most favorite I have that honor Action Comic Books number 1. This one is not one of my favorites, but I actually like the title. It's Ugly Dolls and it's 2013. And this one, do you need a hero? If you need a hero, this comic book is not for you, because this comic book is about being ugly. And being ugly is a superpower. And ugly doesn't really mean ugly. What it means is unique. I actually believe that there's no such thing as somebody who's ugly physically. Only people that are ugly with attitudes and personalities. So if you have an ugly personality, you're an ugly person. Other than that, there's no such thing. I think everybody's beautiful and unique in their own way. Alright, here is the Fantastic Four, number 291. And this one, it's titled The Times They Are Changing. And the cover is actually She-Hulk right here lifting the car like Superman. And this is a time when they are trapped in the past in the year 1936. So a lot of similarities, but you may think it's not. I don't know. Look at them. I think it is. I think it's in honor of Action Comic Books number 1. Here is one more. This is Supergirl in Action Comics number 685. This one is actually A Funeral of a Friend Part 2. If you remember, A Funeral of a Friend is when Superman died and the whole gang gets together. So during the Battle of Doomsday, Supergirl moves to take up Superman's position to guard Metropolis. And you can see that she is doing that. And this comic book is pretty much, look, these are very similar. But then again, Supergirl was taking Superman's place in this comic book. So, alright, here's another one. Amazing Spider-Man 305. And the art is actually by Todd McFarlane. He is one of my favorite artists, and you've probably seen a lot of comic books drawn by him. So stay tuned. One of these days we might just make a video, an episode about him. Alright, so this one is The Pesky Humba is Back. And you can see him here lifting the car. You see the similarities? Pretty neat. Alright. And this is one of my favorite comic books, Underdog number 1 in 2017. The cover is by Bill Gavon. And this one is actually titled, There Is No Need to Fear, Underdog is Here. It's pretty cool. And actually on Free Comic Book Day, they had a comic book of Underdog. So, I don't know if you saw it, but I did, and I read it already, and it's pretty fun. Alright, and another one. You can see the similarities. Actually, these are pretty similar. But this one is Popeye. Popeye number 1 came out in 2012. And the cover was by Bruce Osella and Luke McDonald. And this one is actually Popeye the Sailor Man Sails Again. I actually like Popeye. I grew up watching the cartoons. I don't know if you guys did too, or if you've seen the cartoons, I think they still show them. I love Popeye, and one of the reasons why I love spinach today is because of Popeye. I used to think that I was gonna get big gums like Popeye. Obviously, I didn't, but I still like spinach. Eat your veggies, people. And here we go. We're getting closer to the one that I really, really love to share with you how I came about. But right now, here's Spawn number 228. The cover again is by Todd McFarlane. And this one is Collateral Damage. And look, can you see the similarities as well? Pretty cool, right? Alright, so obviously I like comic books and I have a lot of them. So whenever there's a comic book convention, I've gone to some of them. And last year, I think it was in November, October, November, I can't even remember the date. I went to Comic Cover Homage, which is the comic book convention in Los Angeles Convention Center. And I found this comic book. This is Action Comic Book number 1, covered by Joe Shuster, and the story by Jerry Siegel. You can see the price here is 10 cents. Obviously, this is not the original. This is a reprint. If it was the original, I would be holding. I will not be holding it actually. I will have it in a safe. It would already be graded. So you do not want to touch that comic book with your fingers. Please, you want to take care of it. Anyway, it would be super amazing if I were ever be able to find that comic book. Alright. What do you guys think about the collection? Do you have a comic book that also honors Action Comic Books number 1? Let us know in the comments. I'll be interested in knowing if you have another comic book that I don't have here. Let me know. Connect with us. Alright. And here is the meme of the day. Check it out. I hope you liked it. Stay tuned, subscribe. Bye-bye, guys.